The Midnight Map and the Door of Whispers. Hi there, my name is Leo. I'm really glad you found this story. You see, not all adventures happen in daylight. Some begin quietly when the world is asleep and the moon is full. This one? It begins with a very strange map. It all started one quiet night at the academy. The halls were still, and even the owls had fallen silent. I was in my room, reading by candlelight, when I noticed something odd on my desk. A package that hadn't been there before, wrapped in deep blue paper, sealed with a wax stamp shaped like a star. Inside was a blank parchment, nothing else, no note, no writing, just emptiness. But when the moonlight touched it, something magical happened. Lines began to glow softly on the page, drawing themselves in graceful curves and sharp turns until a full map appeared, pulsing gently with a blue shimmer. The map showed places I had never seen before, even though I lived here. Secret staircases, forgotten doors, and one strange mark at the edge, when no one's watching. Curious as ever, I followed it, through silent corridors and behind dusty curtains. The map guided me through a narrow stairwell and stopped at a tall bookshelf in the oldest wing of the library. I reached for a book with the same title I'd seen on the map. As I touched its spine, the entire shelf trembled, then slowly slid open. Behind it was a door, but not just any door. It glowed faintly, as if lit from within, and as I approached I could hear whispers. Not scary ones, more like old voices telling stories that had been forgotten. I took a deep breath and stepped through. Suddenly, I was no longer in the academy. I stood in a forest where books grew like fruit from the trees, where the air shimmered with golden mist and lanterns floated gently above the mossy ground. Every leaf rustled with a story. Every breeze seemed to hum a forgotten tale. I wandered for a while, quietly listening, and then from high above came a voice. "You made it!" A great owl, ancient and wise, swooped down and landed on a low branch. His feathers shimmered like old parchment, and his eyes held the weight of 1,000 tales. "My name is Archivus," he said, "keeper of stories that almost disappeared." He explained that the Door of Whispers only appeared to those who still believed in magic, even if they didn't remember why. He looked at me closely and said, "To return, you must remember not the story itself, but why it mattered to you." Suddenly, pages began to float around me. Each one showed glimpses of stories I'd heard long ago: brave heroes, quiet kindness, roaring laughter, tearful goodbyes. I closed my eyes. I didn't remember the words, but I remembered the feeling being tucked in at night, a soft voice reading by candlelight, feeling safe, loved. One word formed in my hand, glowing like firelight: home. As soon as I whispered it, the pages swirled away. The mist faded, and I was back. In my room at the academy, the map lay blank on the desk, but something in my heart had changed. I smiled. Because now I knew every story is a door, and some doors lead you right back to where you truly belong. So, if one night you find a glowing map under your pillow, Don't be afraid. Just follow it. You never know where a good story might take you. And tell me, if you could open a magical door to anywhere, where would it take you? Until next time, keep wondering, keep dreaming. Sweet dreams.